The Houston Cemetery Property Cooperative has been helping Houston families for over 15 years. We recently saved a family over $21,000 on cemetery property when they lost their loved one in a tragic accident. Folks, it's a buyer's market. You can easily save thousands of dollars and often tens of thousands of dollars on just the cemetery property. The Cemetery Cooperative is a registered cemetery broker with the state of Texas. And the cooperative does not buy or sell cemetery property. We simply put buyers and sellers together so both families benefit. We also make sure that all the financial transactions are secure so both the buyer and the seller are protected. And in 15 years, our clients have never lost money. If you need to buy cemetery property at the time of death, what are you going to pay for it? Top dollar, right? But if you have cemetery property that you previously purchased or you inherited, how easy is it to find a buyer? What are you going to do? You're going to stand at the cemetery entrance with a sign that says, "Buy my cemetery property cheap"? Folks, once you purchase cemetery property, it is next to impossible to find a buyer if you need to sell it. It is even more difficult if you've moved away from Houston and you're trying to sell it long distance. And if you do happen to find a buyer, it is difficult to navigate the cemetery property transfer process. At almost every turn, the cemetery is trying to steal your sale so they can sell their own cemetery property. And transferring money between buyer and seller can also be difficult if you do not have an independent party managing the transaction. Another benefit of using the cooperative is bypassing the pushy cemetery salespeople. But one of the best benefits of using the cemetery cooperative is not just saving money at a particular cemetery, but learning quickly what is available at all the cemeteries in your area and their prices, and the prices from all the families who want to get rid of their cemetery property at those cemeteries. It's a buyer's market, even at the time of death. Most cemetery salespeople exert a lot of pressure on your family to buy cemetery property before death occurs so you can receive discounts. If you wait until the time of death, those discounts will not be available. Well, guess what? You can use the cemetery property cooperative even at the time of death and still get a fabulous deal. Yes, it is much less stressful since you have more time before death, but that is not always possible. And why should you be punished because you could not purchase before death occurs? Now, suppose the cemetery property you want is not available from other families in the cooperative. Don't tell the cemetery that. One of my most fun things to do in this business is having the cemetery match the price of cemetery property that doesn't exist. Folks, that's an absolute riot. It's fun, okay? Ken, I thought you said discounts from the cemetery would not be available if we waited until after death. Folks, they're car dealerships. They want to make a sale. What price did you say you were getting from that other family? Well, let me go talk to my manager and let's see what we can do. If you want to insult a car dealership and make them blush, just accuse them of using cemetery sales tactics. Now let's qualify something here. If we get the cemetery to come off their price, and you do not buy property from the cooperative, we will ask you for 20% of whatever our negotiating advice saved your family, and you'll be very pleased. But it is almost always easier purchasing from another family. Being a good steward of your family's resources is important. Knowing what kind of cemetery property to purchase, where to purchase it, and finding a great deal will save your family thousands and often tens of thousands of dollars. You don't want to find out later that you got taken advantage of. And too often, the mistakes made can affect your family for generations. If you do not have a coach on your side in this very difficult game, it is just as foolish as going to court without an attorney. We make it very easy to evaluate your options at the many different cemeteries. The pricing is all over the place. Then, after evaluating the different cemeteries, you can see what's available from other families at those cemeteries. Our goal is to make sure that you keep control of the process, you get exactly what you want, and you get it at a great price. And too often, without our advice, families have to settle for something that they do not want. If you want to save money, even at the time of death, give us a call at 281-380-2238 or email us at manager@cemeterycoop.com. I'm Ken Lambert, and thank you for listening.